Hi, friends and fellow Earth Angels. It's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering June 26th through July 2nd, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these to be timeless readings, meaning whenever this video shows up for you, that is the time that the messages are meant for you. This week we have the new moon in Cancer. So I want to say happy summer to all those that are in the northern hemisphere. Summer is my favorite season. As I mentioned, the new moon in Cancer is my moon. Last week I talked about it. And it is a powerful time to nurture yourself. And it is a wonderful time to connect with family and friends. It is a time to work through any ancestral karma. So thinking about the ancestors before you, I know a lot of Earth Angels are doing deep inner spiritual work. And I have heard lots of you are going into the generations prior, right? If you're feminine, you're working through the mother, the grandmother, the great-grandmother energy. If you're masculine, you're working through the paternal energy, right? And so I usually suggest if you're doing any type of family history clearing of karma, you want to intend that the work that you're doing goes 7 generations prior and 7 generations forward. So this new moon in Cancer might bring up that family stuff. And, you know, we've got Venus and Jupiter and Pluto and Mars all working their energies here. So it really is a choice how we want to move through and navigate this energy, right? It's all about setting intentions. So I would recommend, I believe in most of New England, United States, we are experiencing the new moon in Cancer on June 28th. That would be a really great time to set intentions and think about your blessings, your gifts, your gratitudes, your joyfuls. That can really set the tone for the next couple weeks. Like I said, it is a time of family and nurturing. So if there is anything residual that needs to be resolved, it will come up. And one of the things that I've been really trying to talk about is being able to move forward in joy and really adopting a philosophy of living, thriving, growing, evolving, enjoying this planet. As many of you know, I do a lot of mediumship work, meaning I work with a lot of people who have lost loved ones and they're looking to connect, they're looking to resolve some challenges or issues that had come up, that like almost unfinished business, understanding their loved one's transition, and really a lot of times just to hear from their loved ones and to know that they're okay. And most often one of the big messages that people's loved ones say is live your life, and enjoy the time that you have. So many of us can get caught up in quote unquote doing the work. And sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm just hearing noises outside my window. I just didn't know what it was. Sounds like a truck. So I apologize for that. I had to stop the video. I like to do these recordings so it streams fully and there's no breakups, because it keeps the authenticity of the way the cards come out if it's all one video and not edited. But there was somebody who was doing work on the house, and they were pulling out a drill. So I had to stop it and wait until that person had left. So I'm back, And you might have noticed a little blip in the video there where I had to cut the two videos together or put the two videos together. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that when we do our inner work, it is a beautiful time to get really into clearing and healing and nurturing and soothing and comforting. And this new moon can really be supportive of that and really set intentions of, especially this being a 6 year universally, 2022 equals 6, that is around the energy of redefining what family and home and community and connection and healing and creativity and home and our personal relationship with our divine family. We're really redefining what that looks like this year. And so this moon, Cancer, the sign of Cancer, the moon child's energy is connected with family and home. So that might be amplified and intensified this week. And so working with the Jupiter-Venus energy, it's a good time to acknowledge all the wonderful things and really find joyful experiences with family, friends, or even your divine family and the angels and the animal kingdom and the signs and getting outside and really connecting with nature. I was starting to say before I had to cut the video that we can certainly get into the inner work, but it can become all about that. And what my guidance lately has been encouraging us to live, enjoy those treasures that we have on this planet, being able to look at the ocean or be in nature. One of my favorite things is going on a hike, and that first half a mile in the woods is that smell of earth, that smell of dirt, that smell of pine. It is one of my most favorite smells in the world, and it's one of those things that I savor. Going by the ocean and hearing the ocean waves. I am blessed to live not very far from the ocean, and being able to be down there and just sitting listening to the waves is something I treasure. And when I talk to and connect with people's loved ones, that's one of the things that they talk about. Of course, we need to work, we need to make money, we need to pay for a roof over our head. But what I have found in previous generations is that they worked right up into retirement, and a lot of times had a short time of retirement to really enjoy life. It's one of those things that the time that we have on this planet is not guaranteed. And that's one of the messages that have been coming up a lot lately, especially with so many people who have lost a lot of loved ones these last 3 years. And so people are pondering life, and they're downsizing, and they're simplifying their lives, and they're redefining their material possessions, and people are selling their homes, especially here in New England. People are selling their homes, they're downsizing, they're making adjustments. And so we're really learning how to integrate the work-life balance. And that's another theme of this new moon in Cancer. So again, you don't have to figure it all out, but give it to the moon, connect with the moon, ask Mother Moon how you may be able to move forward with a work-life balance and being able to do things differently. And you might be surprised by the inspiration that you receive, the ideas that you get. So, all right, I feel like I'm back in the flow, no longer distraction. Sorry about that first 4 minutes. Let me start with letting you know what cards I'm going to be working with this week. So I am going to pull a guide this week from the Ascended Masters deck. I haven't used these on camera in a long time. I do use them in my office, and I enjoy them. So we're going to use the Ascended Master Oracle cards for a guide this week. And then because we're still in the full moon in Sagittarius as I record this, and you're working in the new moon energy, and it is about family and home, I'm going to work with the Power of Surrender cards for your message of a healing. Just some guidance and some residual stuff as you start to go out and live your life. Things will come up, experiences will come up, and that's where it's a good time to take pause, to check in, to self-soothe, to comfort, to nurture, right? Instead of continuing to create time and space for it. Now is about living and having those tools for when something comes up. So the message of healing will come from the Power of Surrender Oracle cards. Action steps this week will come from the Moonology Manifestation deck. This is a new deck by Yasmin Boland. What you're being gifted with this week will come from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle deck. This is a cool deck. I haven't used this in a long time either, so I was guided to pull it out. And then final message, overall message of love, it would be an affirmation and a theme of love to support you this week will come from the Healing Energy Oracle cards. These are also a new deck that I received. So let me open up space and get into it. Let me invite in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that would like to assist with this guidance for you this week. I want to connect my heart to the heart of the ascended masters in this oracle card deck. And I want to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good and the best and highest good of all concerned. I also should let you know too that I am working in another chair. The chair that I had been using, I had to take back to my office because I am now back to doing body work and energy work. So I needed that stool. And so I'm in a new chair and you might hear it creaking. It is not the best chair. So if you hear creaking noise in the background, that's what that is. I'm really trying to stay still so that doesn't happen because it is annoying until I can get a new comfortable chair for my home where I do these recordings. All right, Ascended Masters, who wants to work with us with this week? What is the most important guide that would be beneficial for us this week? There we go. That was fun. And let's begin. Oh, just a minute. Ooh, Osiris. Father, husband, brother, son. This is so awesome that this card came in because we are still, as I record this, and if you watch this when the video comes out, we are still in the phase of the new moon in Sagittarius. And the theme of that energy is working with the males and the masculine energies in our lives. So I feel like Osiris is coming up to support this. Remember, the masculine energy within us is connected with analytics, logic, reason. It's action oriented, it's giving energy. And let me see if I can just give you some information about Osiris. So I want to go into the book here and read it right from the book. Osiris is the beloved brother and husband of the Egyptian goddess Isis. How perfect, because we're working with moon energy, and Isis is known to be an Egyptian moon goddess. Their brother Seth got into a violent argument with Osiris that resulted in his death. Isis appealed to the sun god Ra for his help. Ra revealed his secret name to Isis, who spoke the word to revive Osiris. In their joyful reunion, the couple conceived their son Horus. So you want to call upon Osiris for any situation involving men or masculine energy. Let me see here. So when I connect with the energy of this card, I want to go a little deeper into the masculine energy. The masculine energy is connected to giving energy. And when an earth angel unknowingly or knowingly sometimes overgives, overshares, overdoes, and gets into the shadow part of our gifts. So we're sensitive, right? We're sensitive, we're open, we're intuitive, we're perceptive. And we want to help people. We want to support people. We want people to feel good. And it's a slippery slope because that can get into the energy of people pleasing. And we can unknowingly attract people who will take advantage of that kind part of us. It can happen in your work environment where you're giving to your work, your company. Maybe you're compromising your time, your energy. Maybe you're not taking the vacation days or the time off that you have because there's always going to be work to be done. And so I feel like Osiris is coming up this week to support you. And he may also remind you about the receiving part that needs attention. And so, working with the new moon in Cancer energy, we're going with that theme of nurturing, right? So, how can you receive nurturing this week? How can you receive the joy of life this week? How can you, I guess, maybe look for those simple pleasures, being able to pause in stillness, take some rest, some silence, and being able to observe this week. So I feel like Osiris is coming in and he wants you to know that you can call upon him to and release any action, responsibilities, giving, if there's any imbalances in those areas, like if you feel obligated or you feel like you should or you have to. I feel like Osiris is inviting you in this week to surrender that need to please, to be a good person. Cancer energy is also about appearances, how we look in the world, how people perceive us. It is also part of the Cancer energy. So, or maybe it's like that first house energy, and it can be too much or overwhelming when we're outside of ourselves, constantly making sure that everybody around us is okay. So there might be some imbalances that come up with that this week. And so Osiris can inspire you with action steps that will lead to healthy change and transformation. That's the message that I feel. Some people might be going around in circles and the loop. It's like I see the imagery of a carousel. One of those little mini ones that are outside of like a Walmart or something. And it's just going around and around and around. So if you feel like you're on a loop and you're making these action steps and it's not getting better, or taking these action steps, it could be work, it could be in your personal life, it could be in relationships, repeating patterns in partnerships, romantic partnerships, or with friendships. I feel like Osiris is inviting you in to support you in shining a light and how you may be able to move forward differently. And Isis can also assist you with your own inner worthiness, your own value, your inner treasures, your inner gifts, to support you to kind of shine that light out into the world. All right, let's see here. Okay, Osiris. Again, this can also be, if you're doing inner work, this could also be calling out an Osiris if you are doing healing work with your father, a husband, a brother, or a son, or if that's you, if you are a masculine energy watching this, Osiris can also assist you in how to activate your divine inner father, husband, brother, son as well. Again, we have these archetypes and we have these societal paradigms and these seeds and these programs that say if you're one of these roles that you have to be, look, and act a certain way, and it becomes corrupted, it becomes corroded. And when we get farther away from the essence of who we truly are, we're susceptible to addictions. We're susceptible to influence and going outside of ourselves. Remember, we all have this masculine energy within us. So Osiris is a powerful energy that can assist you with healing and working these energies and how to work the divine masculine energy that is within all of us. All right, Osiris, how do we do that? What is the most important message that you want us to know about surrendering? What can we surrender this week to you? What's the most important thing that we can surrender to you this week? Okay, so I think I'm gonna just pull these two. I am having some allergies, so I may also be sniffling too. And having to clear my throat. Ooh, surrender to creativity. That's so wonderful. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. I just mentioned this. Thank you, Osiris, for backing up that channeled message. Yeah, so sitting and pausing and asking Osiris to show you or shine a light on a way forward that you may not be seeing. Acknowledging that you're on this loop, acknowledging the situation, the pattern, the experience. And again, I feel like this is when it comes up. It doesn't feel like, if this isn't happening for you, it's not something to go digging in and exploring, because again, with this new moon in Cancer energy, you want to really work with the Jupiter and Venus good luck in love, good luck, fun energy this week. But if it does come up, or if you have somebody in your life who is experiencing this, you can also remind them to take pause and invite in the divine for assistance. I've mentioned this in other videos where sometimes when I can't see something, I'll ask God to show me truth of the situation. Show me truth. And I say so often, be ready, because you will get the truth. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes we don't want to see it, or we know deep down what the answer is and we're not ready to make those changes. So we avoid it, we skirt around it, we hope it'll get better. And for the most part, things get progressively worse until there is some form of change. So I like that Osiris used the word creativity here. And creativity is when we get into the right brain and we go into the imagination, we go into the well of wisdom that exists within us. And that voice does not speak if we're predominantly in the action-oriented responsibilities, have-tos, shoulds mode. I have said so often that I opted out of many platforms the last couple years to be able to have time to go within and to get away from influence. And I have had to use that inner voice, that inner compass, that creativity to navigate. And what I have found is that I have so much less noise in my life now. I can hear this voice of creativity. I can hear this voice of wisdom. It speaks loudly. I have more time. I have more energy. It really was a self-preservation thing. And we want to create less distraction, disorder, disarray. You want to create more space in your life to listen, which requires time, right? And I have often said that I have gotten so much more done. So many more opportunities have come from me by doing nothing. It is profound and uncanny. Now, I don't mean doing nothing like by being lazy. I mean, I'm no longer forcing something to happen. I'm no longer agenda-based or results-oriented. And if I'm inspired to do something, I release the attachment to what I want it to be, and I allow it to be what it is, and I end up having really beautiful experiences that unfold. And so I have this space, I have this stream, this flow that I'm working with, And it comes from an abundance of stillness and pause and rest and silence. And the most important thing is nothingness. When you feel like you need to do something about a situation, almost like penetrative or electric, or you want to force something, practice taking pause and pulling back from that. So chances are it's coming from a place of fear, and it's coming from a place of needing to be in control. And I feel like this is a big part. And again, that's part of the masculine energy. That's action oriented, but it can also be a distorted part of the masculine. So I feel like Osiris is reminding you that you have this creative wealth of information within, and encouraging you to take pause. And, the program in the society or the 3D world is that doing nothing equals laziness. And that is not true at all. A wise person waits for or is open to receiving the leads of the universe, the leads of the divine, the doors that open. And in the pauses, while things are coming to you, it's great to laugh and play and sing and dance and enjoy your time. And again, this is a practice. It takes time, it takes presence, it takes awareness. It takes a conscious person to be aware of it. So again, this stuff might come up this week. The other message that came up is surrender stubbornness. Look at these cards here. You see the theme coming in, the neutrality of these colors. I think it's important to note here the neutrality of it. I mean, this could be connected with the sacral chakra, the energy of creativity, but there's also this neutrality, this neutral energy. So it's not masculine or feminine. It is like a neutrality. It is a harmony of these energies blended, and the benefits of both working together in harmony. So the message here says, if you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Again, it was just what I channeled, the message that I channeled. So do you see how this is working in harmony here? This is why I like to stream these videos all in one shot, because it shows that these are coming out organically and naturally. And so that is something that you could continue to release, and then asking the divine to show me the way, show me how to be more yielding, show me what that's like. Again, it might create more energy. It might create an energy where you're feeling that stubbornness and that resistance and wanting things your way, that control. But it's just a perfect opportunity for you to take pause in those moments and relax, breathe, soften, and open, and invite in the divine, right? We're countering that masculine given energy with being receptive and open to assistance and guidance and support this week. Love it. All right, so let's see. What action steps can you take this week? Osiris, what action steps can the Earth Angels take this week to support their healing? Jeepers. Bro. All right. Open to change. Wow. New moon in Aquarius. That's air energy, right? It's again going to with the energy of forward movement, flow, being open and perceptive, following the leads. What does that mean? I was at a group reading last night, and there were ants crawling, like there was an ant that was crawling up on me. I mean, it was a beautiful space. I loved it. And it was in a nature type of field place. So it was only natural. And I have been experiencing ant medicine lately. I have had an ant, like those big black ants. I've seen one or two in my office hallway right outside my door. And so I've been looking them up. And so I apologized last night. So here I am doing these readings in this group, and these ants are, getting my attention. And I couldn't help but laugh. I'm like, oh, I think I brought this animal medicine here. And so when you're seeing things show up, all that to say, when you're seeing things show up in your life in odd places, check out the meaning of it. So if it is a bird, if it is an insect, if it is an animal of sorts, if it's a flower that you keep seeing over and over again, go to the internet and check out what the medicine is, or the spiritual medicine, or the spiritual meaning of what that symbol is that you keep seeing over and over and over again. It could be part of guidance to help you with change. And I think I mentioned last week that I was struggling with like confidence and my role with the gifts that I have, and how to continue to make an impact while staying true to my belief systems, to stay away from influence and expectations of what I should and shouldn't be doing. And that's when the ants started showing up. And the ant medicine was reminding me that even though ants are small, they can carry up to, I think, 3,000 times their weight. And they work together in a community, and they're family oriented, and they're strong. So there's this appearance that they're small and weak, when actuality they're incredibly powerful, incredibly strong, and incredible workers. So it was a beautiful message to remind me of the gifts that I do have, because I was focusing on the smallness of myself. I mean, I know many of you may not have seen me, but I'm literally 4'11". So my body is small. On top of the feeling small, having these big gifts and not knowing what to do with it and where to present it, and, you know, staying away from influence. So I've had to make adjustments in the way I see myself, and the way I see the work that I do, and the energy. And so I've had to be open to change. I've had to be open to seeing my own self-imposed limitations. And I feel like that's what might come up this week, especially as we go into the new moon in Cancer, when we're working with our own work life, family, friends, community. Again, it's your work environment, it's your community, it's your neighborhood. If you're buying a house, those things may be something that's important to you. Community, an area that you can walk in, an area where, if you have young children, that is a young neighborhood. If your family dynamics have changed and you've lost loved ones, what does that look like? And really being able to take pause so that you can act instead of react this week. It's airy, it's flowy, it's movement. So, and again, it doesn't say do anything about it. It says open up to change. Ask Osiris to help you navigate that inner energy that might be forcing, controlling, that stubbornness, right? How can we shift it into change and transformation in the level of following the wisdom that's within? Very cool. And the next card that I'm going to be pulling will come from Sacred Geometry Activations, and it is what you're going to be gifted with this week. All that being said, what are you going to be gifted with this week? Osiris, what do you want to gift the Earth Angels with this week? These two. Belief. Card number 11. I just saw 1111 earlier. It says the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to Source. I mean, I just shared this story about myself. And the reason why I do share stories about myself is I find that I have a tendency to go through things just before others are, or about the same time. And one of the great things I think of doing something like this or connecting with other Earth Angels is knowing that you're not alone. Earth Angels have a tendency, in the shadow, Earth Angels can sometimes be the scapegoats of their family. Sometimes they feel different. They don't necessarily resonate with the societal norms and the paradigms. And so they have a tendency to be recluse, to go within and really struggle with self-worth, really struggle with their sensitivities and their gifts. And remember, the sensitivities and gifts you have are such a blessing. You have such a wonderful ability to forgive, to heal, to have compassion for others, to be able to connect with people's pain and have empathy for them in a way that is able to support others and knowing that they're not alone. And this lifetime, I feel like a lot of earth angels are here to learn how to set boundaries with that, how to navigate it, how to receive, to fill up, and then shine that light on the world and let that inner love shine and that light shine, which then in turn heals the world. Instead of that old part that's like, I've got to give my time and energy and I've got to do all these things and I've got to tell people and I've got to show people and I've got to make things happen and I've got to create this and I've got to do that, and really becoming outside of yourself, because then it's easy to get caught up in the material and the money and the appearances and all that stuff. And like I said, it's not a bad thing, but it's a slippery slope, really. So it's a good time to check in with your own belief systems. It's a good time for you to check in with what matters to you, right? Checking in with your talents and how you connect to source and what that means to you this week. And those signs that I mentioned, being open to change, being open to receiving guidance, pausing and waiting for the doors of opportunity to open. And I don't mean waiting in saying like, well, if nothing's happening, I'm not doing anything. It's like being receptive and being open and thanking the divine. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this showing up in my life. Bring me more of this or something even better. That's a way to take action without physically exerting so much energy over and over again. And then release it, and then look for ways that you can play. Look for ways that you can find beauty and love and joy in this world. So the other gift you're getting this week, is alchemy. Card number 8. This is awesome. This is the infinity energy. It also goes along with the energy of receiving and giving and giving and receiving. So the frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we hold inside of us. Our gifts, our treasures, right? Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. I feel like this is what Osiris is teaching us this week. That Osiris is helping us to go in to learn how to take inspired action when doors of opportunities open, when you're being invited or you're seeing those messages in repetition. Now, the tricky part here is if you are on certain social platforms, the tricky thing is the algorithms are meant to, whatever you click on, you'll see that over and over and over again. See, here's the tricky part and why it gets confusing is because those platforms are meant to be repetition. So if you click on something of, let's say, on YouTube, I'll click on, I'm really missing my dog. Those of you know that have been following me for a while that I lost my my best friend, my dog friend, best bud, in September. I'm still raw when I talk about it. But I've been missing him a lot lately, and I'm not ready for another one. So I'm kind of in this tough spot of missing him, but knowing that this is not the time of my life to get another animal. So anyway, I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch the puppies, the golden retrievers, the little German shepherds. I'll watch the little snuggly, poodle doodles. Like I'll watch them just to kind of get a fix. But what happens is, of course, now those videos come up in abundance. And if I wasn't conscious and aware of that, I might interpret that as, the divine is telling me to go get a dog. And so I really have to be mindful of those tricky things that are out there. And it's everywhere. The seeds of influence are everywhere. And you really want to be mindful. So I had to really take some time to check in. Is this truly something that would benefit me, or is this something that just keeps showing up based on what I'm looking at? And I've come to the conclusion that I'm not in a place in my life right now to get a dog. I know I'll probably get another one at one point, but the work that I have to do is on my own grief, on my own healing, and really my nurturing, right? Because he was my family. It was just me and him for a long time, a very long time. I had a lot of really great quality time with him. And so I know there's still some grief there. I know there's still some healing there. Instead of forcing something and trying to just go out and replace that, I know it wouldn't be beneficial for me right now. I hope that's a good example, because there's so many ways that we can do that. When there's loss or there's change or there's something that came up, we can easily go out and try to force something and make it better. And a lot of times it's a Band-Aid fix, because now we're going into a place where we're still healing, we're still grieving, or we're still going through change, trying to recreate something that we had in the past. And really the message is to savor the life and the time that you have with what you have in your life right now, because time is one of those things in life that we cannot get back. I feel that time is the most precious things in the world, and it's something that we cannot get back. We can't go back. I used to say our health, but we can also make changes to our health. We can make adjustments and we can get better, certainly. Time is not something that we can get back. And with me celebrating a birthday and time going by, it is more apparent than ever that it's important for me to savor every single moment. And that includes my connection and journey with myself, in the pain, the sadness, the sorrow, the joys, all of it, and feeling the humanness in all facets. And that's where healing comes in. That's where growth comes in. That's where wisdom comes in. And that's where you learn how to alchemize these energies. I really hope this is making sense. I feel like this is one of my deeper readings this week. All right, let me finish this up here with an overall message, a theme for the week. An overall message of love for the week. Osiris, what would be a message of love the earth angels can anchor themselves with this week? I'll go with this one. Action! I love it. My divine action incites love and harmony. So after all this, right, we take inspired action forward. It says, I am aware of my thoughts and driven by positive forces. I listen to my heart. This is such a perfect way to end this, because it really sums up the entire reading. My desire to manifest light transforms tests into growth, challenge into opportunity, and fear into love. I love that. I feel like that's a mic drop there. It just sums up the entire reading, of course, right? Look at the colors of these cards. They are all in the orangey, yellow, neutral tones. Even this, we've got the shadow going on over here, a little bit of purple with the spiritual energy. But overall, I feel like we're working with the sacral chakra, the energy of creativity, empowerment, also too addictions, addictive tendencies. We can have a tendency to get backed up when energy's not moving or it's not flowing. So my wish for you, my prayer for you is that the currents are flowing, that the winds of change are turning in your way gently, that the change that comes upon you, the opportunities that come to you are more enhanced in adventure, play, laughter, fun, and freedom. Okay, I am done. I'm going to close space for us this week. So let me thank all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for you this week. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. And so it is. And those are your messages this week. All right, friends, if I can support you any way, my calendar is open for in-office sessions. I'm back to doing energy therapies like Reiki and magnified healing and integrated energy therapy. If you go to my online scheduler and you click on my list of services and you click on add to visit, it will pop up. The description of what the service is will pop up. I give a little, especially with the energy therapies, I give a little synopsis of if the reading is beneficial for you, what you're looking for. What else? The Reiki class, the registration for the Reiki classes in July are now closed, and there are a few more spots left for the integrated energy therapy trainings in August. So I don't know how long that registration will be open. If you are interested, thank you for letting me know. And I think that's it for announcements. So thank you for watching. I appreciate your likes. I appreciate your subscribes and your follows. And one of the things I truly am grateful for is that you share me with your family and friends and your students and your clients, and it really is such a treasure. It's such a gift, and I'm really honored that you believe in me and that you trust me with the people that you love. And it is a wonderful, wonderful practice that I've created through your love and generosity, and I'm just so grateful for it. So thank you. I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I'll send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.